Greetings, Missouri Mid-South Conference. I bring you greetings on this Tuesday as I am in my hotel room in Kansas City, where I've been for a couple of days with meetings and all kinds of gatherings, and where I will be traveling back to St. Louis this evening. Our conference ministry theme for 2017 has been Living Our Change, and as I told the Western Association spring meeting last Saturday, I could never have imagined, as I created that last year in 2016, all the ways in which God's Spirit would be moving among us so that we could embody this conference ministry theme in the conference ourselves, Living Our Change. For indeed, as you are watching this video and reading the ECourier today, we are living our change. Because normally, this ECourier email comes out on Fridays rather than on Tuesdays. And as the Reverend Nia Chandler, the conference communications consultant, and I began to meet and talk about the ECourier and how to do it in this temporary time, one of the things that we realized was that when we send it out on Friday, that doesn't give the local churches enough time to get it into your bulletins, into your bulletin inserts, and into your weekly emails. So we decided to move up our date when we send out our ECourier every 2 weeks, and that we would send it out on Tuesday rather than Friday, so that hopefully that will encourage our local churches to share the information on a timely basis that is more helpful for all of you in your churches and in your clusters and the association and the conference as well. The second change that you will see very quickly if you scroll down just below Dale and my calendar is the conference annual gathering registration. Woohoo! Yes, it is finally that time. Our conference annual gathering will be Thursday, June 8th through Saturday, June 10th, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. And we have been a little bit late in getting registration going. But one of the things that we realized this year with the resignation of our office manager, Renee Cordes, was that the way that we had been doing registration for our conference annual gathering, or as we lovingly call it, CAG, is that we would do a little bit of online, but we would also do a little bit of paper and email, and that Renee and Lorraine, our bookkeeper, were very kind and generous in making those accommodations. As we have shared already, we unfortunately don't have the office staff at this immediate moment to absorb that kind of work and responsibility in getting all of those different ways of registration. So we are going online. Woohoo! And what you'll see if you scroll down just a little bit is that there is a link. If you click on that link, it will take you to a website that will give you very clear directions. You can choose a ticket in terms of whether you are an adult, a delegate, a youth person, and it will specify any dietary needs that you have, and you will be able to pay online. Now, I am aware that we are very diverse in the Missouri Mid-South Conference, and a part of that diversity includes those who are not computer savvy. And so I want to make sure that we are being inclusive of those of you who are not computer savvy. So we've done a couple of things. Number one, if you scroll down, after the link, you'll see a video that the Reverend Nia Chandler, our communications consultant, has created to walk you step by step in exactly what you need to do in order to register online. If that gives you the heebie-jeebies of, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to break my computer, then we have a few other options. Number one is that at each of our spring association meetings, the Western Association did this, the St. Louis Association and the Eastern Association, there will be a table at registration with somebody with a laptop computer, and they will be helping people to register online for the conference annual gathering. So all you have to do is go there, and they will click the information, and you can tell them exactly the information that you want and how you want your name badge to read, and they will do that for you. The second change is that whereas it used to be that you could write a check and you could mail it to the conference, or you could send it in, write it right there at the conference annual gathering in Columbia, we just can't do that. And so we are moving to not having checks, but instead we are inviting you to use a credit card. Now, I'm aware that for some of you, using a credit card is not something that you do on a normal basis or that you want to do. And so we have a few options for you in that case with the help of your local pastor of your local church. One of the options is to talk with your pastor of your local church to see if there's some kind of way that your church can help in doing that and paying for it online, or paying for it with a credit card, and then you can write them a check. If the church can't do that, another option would be to reach out to someone in your association, maybe in your cluster group, that is more comfortable and has the ability, maybe one of the local churches, to use a credit card. The important part is that credit card be used in registration so that we immediately have those financial resources. We don't have to worry about trying to get in touch with you and make sure that all of the registrations are paid. I am aware that these are major changes for our conference annual gathering registration, but I am also aware that you are watching my video right now, and that until a year and a half ago, that you weren't doing that. And so I believe in you that if you can shift from reading a reflection in an ECourier to register, or to watching the video of me right now, then you can shift from sending in a piece of paper for registration to registering online. Woohoo! We can do this. If you have any concerns, questions, anxiousness, frustration, please feel free to contact me and let me know. I certainly do want to be aware and sensitive to that, but I also want to be aware that these are changing times, and there is so much technology out there to help us in this time when we don't have the conference office staff that we used to. And so let us be blessed in the ways that we can use technology for the good. A couple of other pieces that I invite you to hear about changes and short-term plans for the conference office. Number one is regarding the e-happenings, which, as I have been the one who has received emails that have normally gone to Renee or the MMS at mmsucc.org, those are coming to me, which is wonderful. I'm seeing wonderful submissions that are for the e-happenings. And so our first priority in kind of crisis mode or survival mode is getting the ECourier out and getting the conference annual gathering out. In the next week, we will figure out how and who to help us in getting the e-happenings out. I would invite you to have patience with us. If you have not seen your submission, please feel free to send an email or call us and say, where is it? But I would invite you first to breathe in a divine breath of patience as we are all working very diligently to try to get all of the bases covered. Some of the bases that we may not have known, I may not have known in terms of how to get things going. But we're learning very quickly, and we are figuring out those ways to get that done in a way that doesn't recreate the wheel and doesn't add additional work on additional folks. So eHappenings is coming out hopefully in the next week and a half. And please be patient in that time. If you have sent me an email and I have not yet responded, please, I invite divine patience as well, as there are many things that we all in the conference staff are juggling, and we are trying to do it as smoothly and expediently as possible. Those are all churchy details. And as I said to the Western Association spring meeting, you know, it's good that we are in the season of Easter, because the message that I appreciate most of all is that Good Friday happens in a lot of different ways. Good Friday happens in far more significant, far more painful, far more pertinent issues of life and death, of oppression and denial. But Good Friday does not have the last word. For we are an Easter people, and God does not let us go when there are changes, when there are disappointments, when there is betrayal, when there is hurt. God holds on to us, and in fact, creates new life, new hope, new love. And that's where we are. Hold on to this moment of being an Easter people. The other piece that I just want to name is that in the midst of all of the changes that feel very institutional or structural, that are important in terms of the conference office staff, in terms of changes of what we've always done, it would be very easy to focus on the waters that in which we are swimming and how it's changing and how, oh my goodness, it takes a lot of energy, and are we going to survive, and we need to keep going. But I invite us to remember that if these are our challenges, if these are our changes, we're okay. We're going to be okay. I lift up this day our brothers and sisters in the United Methodist Church who are meeting perhaps at this moment with Bishop Karen Alevito, I apologize, who has been brought before the highest court of the United Methodist Church, not because of something that she did, not because of someone that she has hurt, but because God created her as lesbian and God called her as a minister. As I posted on my Facebook this morning, you know, as a conference minister, in middle judicatory these days, these are tough times. Tough enough just in making sure that our annual gatherings run smoothly and our conferences and our staff are equipped and able to function. I can't imagine what it is for this bishop to not even be able to address those concerns, because her very personhood in whom God has created within her is being challenged and questioned in the highest court of their denomination. I hold that in our energy of prayer this day and in the coming days to remind us that as chaotic as it may get, as anxious as it may get in the unknown of what the Missouri Mid-South Conference looks like, we are created in God's image, and our purpose is not to keep the office and the emails and the ECouriers going forever and ever so that nothing ever changes and everything is as it always has been. The mission and purpose of the Missouri Mid-South Conference of the United Church of Christ is to provide sanctuary and safe space so that no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. As the maid is knocking on the door, I will conclude for this time that you may know and feel and embody that God is with us, and God is not through with us yet. But as we are living our change, God's love will guide us and create new life within us, this day and forevermore. Amen.